Go live. So,
Hmm.
what do you think?
Okay. Now we're live.
Yeah, for sure. Need to be.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're live.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. We are alive.
Yeah. Alive and well.
Yeah, not just live, we are alive.
Live and
We
live.
are alive.
Yeah. Alive and well.
Yeah, not just. So, the question is, Jochen,
Yeah.
how many people there are here? Are we just two of us or?
At least.
But why I cannot see you as a
You cannot.
participant?
Okay.
So, if somebody's here, let's
Yeah.
put it on the chat. I start. Look. Hi, I am here.
That works. Now I'm here. Now I'm there.
Ah, look, you are there.
I'm there. Yeah.
So,
Two
relax, my
participants.
friend. Relax, my friend. We can talk together with video through YouTube. Woo!
Yeah.
Why to call you on the phone when I can talk with you
That's
directly with
science
image?
fiction.
Yes, through YouTube.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That's why
I
we
can
are,
drink coffee and speak at the same time.
for sure. I'm waiting
And on
for other.
every screen, it's different.
Doesn't matter.
Awesome.
Doesn't matter. Perfect. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for other participants.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why not?
Yeah. We are three.
Three watching
Yes.
now, yeah. You, me, and our
Some.
ghosts. Our common ghost.
Yeah.
It's it's a discussion about gears, and for the people who don't know what it's about, if somebody is here, uh, it's a discussion about gears. How can you use your gear? Doesn't matter if it's a professional one or a system or not. How can you use your gears in studio or life? You know, and if you wonder why we discuss about this, who we are to talk about this, uh, later, if the public exists, we can explain why we and not other person. Could be also many others, but finally, it's about us here in Soundland. So till that moment when somebody have question or questions, I enjoy the coffee. You also.
Me too.
Yeah, I know.
Prost.
So cheers.
And number three. Prost.
Yeah, prost.
Too early for beer.
I think I forget to put some sugar in the, and I drink it with.
I will make it alone. Go get some sugar.
Mm.
I will handle all the guys in the chat.
Perfect.
I don't drink sugar in the coffee. No more. Just milk. So I can stay here and manage all the guys watching this beautiful live chat. Shh, he's coming back.
Yep, I'm here. So,
Yeah. We were just talking about you.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm heavy. So,
You're a little bit out of the picture.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's
I look better in the half of the,
No, I want to see your entirety.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you? I'm half of the Christian.
Me too.
So, it's a member of our channel that asked me. This was the idea. In fact, this was the idea of this video, this live, from a comment of a member, Soundland member. Start all. I try to find it. Just a second. I need to look in the other monitor. So, no, I need my channel. Where is the channel? The channel. If nobody comes on the video, remains. So anyway, this video remains recorded, and I have the occasion to answer to this guy, if I can remember
No.
the video. Just a second. I'm looking for comments. You have not touched. No. Thanks, mate. No, it's not this video. So visually, it's one of the it's one of the last videos that I've made, I think.
Yeah.
So notification.
It's one of the Schecter PV kind of videos.
Maybe. Maybe, I cannot remember. How to clean, how to find the computer. Yeah, Vincent Brunel. So Vincent Brunel, it's the name of our member that asked me 1 month ago. He said like this: "Thanks, Christian, for your response." I answered to him for this for a video, and then he said, "Makes sense. Will you do us a video on your setup and gear, explaining how you get the sound from the guitar to the DAW?" So for a lot of people, this is a problem to understand how the sound goes from the guitar to the DAW. What is in between? Yeah, he's interested what is in between. Could be interesting. Once again, congratulations. Okay, thank you. Vincent Brunel. For Vincent, it's very easy to explain that exist two steps or two kind of transporting the sound from the guitar to the DAW. One is through the amp, through an amp, a normal amp. Doesn't matter if it's a tube one or combo or how it names head combo tube transistor, doesn't matter. Yeah, it goes guitar in the amp, then microphones, interface, and from the interface, audio interface in the DAW. Generally speaking, this is a simple explanation. For sure exists the second method with the guitar directly in the interface through some emulators, some sound, how it names this, plugins or
Amp sims.
amp sims, yeah, amp simulator. This is the easiest for most of the people, not just because of the money, not just because they are cheaper, because also of technical issues that can appear when you put microphones on a box, or real one, I mean. This is in general, but for sure, I gonna show this, or we together gonna show the entire chain, completely chain. If not in this life, maybe in a future video. And this is interesting because we have different chains. Mine is different than Jochen chain. I have also the hybrid one, and also this one with amp simulation. I have it, and I use not just one amp simulator. I use more, depending on the task that I have. For clean guitars, I use some softwares. For distortion and heavy riffs, other kind of simulators, and so on. And as I know, Jochen use also amps, a lot of
Real amps, yeah.
real amps, yeah, as I know. That's why from a person to another, there are different systems. And all these systems depending on the budget that you have and depending on the taste, that it's a personal thing. What kind of music do you want to have? What kind of sound do you want to have? And so on.
And a big advantage of amp sims is the fact that you can play with your full sound in lower volume.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not living in your own house or living together with other people.
Yeah.
It can be very annoying to blow up a tube amp, for example, to get the full sound.
Yeah, this is another advantage for sure.
Yeah.
There are more advantages for amp simulators. I don't want to promote here amp simulators. I don't want to say, oh, I'm fan of amp simulator more than the other method. No, it's you can work with the both. No problem. The both are good depending what do you want to do. Because I saw this kind of discussion a lot of time. It's a big debate and a big war. Amps versus simulator.
Yeah.
And another debate that makes me thinking about, it was about the ages, but it's a fake debate, because I saw discussion like new generation use more amp simulator because they are better and modern than the old generation that use amps because there are not so good, but still have this sound, this classic sound, which in my opinion it's fake debate. It's a fake debate because I know young people using real amps, and I know old guys like me using amp simulators also. So make no sense.
It's not a matter of age.
For sure. As I've
It's a
told you,
matter of taste and a matter of money,
absolutely.
simply speaking.
And sometimes not just a matter of money, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
For example, in my case, having the Bose system, for sure I'm tempted every time to use the amp because it's my, how can I say, my preferred. I was growing with amps.
Yeah.
I played a lot on the stage with amps, and I know it's completely other feeling. It's that feeling for me. But when I'm working with clients and I need something fast, not very complicated things. I need to be something to be practical and, as I said, fast. Yeah, I go directly in an amp simulator and the things are solved. The amp simulator in these days, some of them sound so good that the public cannot make the difference between an amp and a amp simulator, a real amp and an amp simulator.
Yeah, exactly. No.
That's why. And to go further to with the answer for the Vincent, yeah. So Vincent Brunel. To go further with this answer, let's go a little bit in details. How I'm doing this. Very easy. So guitar. Should I move my camera? What do you think, Jochen?
Yeah,
So
do it.
let's talk about the system with normal amp. Yeah. So my guitar goes in the first component, which is a pedal, and it's a Maxon. Yeah, it's the overdrive. It's OD9, the Maxon OD9. I said Maxwell.
Maxon, it's so correct.
No, Maxwell. It's another.
Maxon.
Yeah, but it's a Maxon. So Maxon OD9, which it's used to push the distortion of the amp, to push the amp a little bit. Then the output of this Maxon goes in my input, yeah, in the first input of the amp. I use in this case PV, tube one. So then it's activated here the distortion channel for distortions. This chain for me it's a distortion chain. Yeah, it's a metal high gain chain, and Vincent put that question about the chain. I check again, just a second. He put that question in a video where I show how to produce a rock metal song. So it makes sense, yeah? I answered to him for this kind of chain, metal chain, yeah? So on the amp we use the drive channel. Here, how you gonna set up your gain and think it's a matter of taste, I don't know. I cannot explain to you how to do it, because depending on the style of the music, depending on your style of playing, depending on your taste, depending on a lot of things. But generally speaking, this is, yeah, pedal for boosting, amp on drive channel. Then I have another thing interesting here. I have a noise reduction. In this case, it's a decimator 2, otherwise a very good pedal. And what gonna be interesting for you people, very interesting, is this decimator goes in effect loops. Why? Because of two reasons. First of all, I don't want to put this pedal between boost and amp or before the boosting pedal. I want to have it between the preamp and amp. And here is the insert. Here goes the insert of the effects between the preamp of the amp, yeah, and the power amp. I want to have there before the power amp. There is what I want to. Hello, Jochen. Good night.
Yeah. Hi.
Good night. So,
Good
uh,
night.
let me explain you further. Yeah. So, between the preamp and power amp, to avoid every annoying noises. This is the first reason that I use this noise pedal here between in fx send and return, yeah, fx loop. The first reason. The second reason is, in this case, in this PV amp, loop between send and return increase the power that the preamp attack the power amp, and in this case you obtain more aggressivity. I don't want to say more gain, it's more aggression, yeah. With this loop, if you put just a simple cable without this pedal, just a simple cable between send and return, you're gonna obtain more aggressiveness, yeah. That's why this pedal stay here for two reasons, yeah. First of all, noise reduction, to cut everything annoying comes from the preamp in power amp, and the second one is to obtain this more aggression. Good. What's happened then? Then I have a setup in 2 mics. You can use a setup in 4, 1, or I don't know how many mics do you want, but you need to know what you're gonna do. As much microphones as you are gonna use, as much noise you're gonna have, and phase, and a lot of problems. In this case, I use 2 microphones. One, it's a classic SM57. That, pay attention, I use it different than other people. Most of the people use this SM57 in the middle of the cone to obtain the that harshness, that aggressive sound. In my case, I use this microphone in the edge of the speaker, where we obtain more covered sound, more bassy sound. Yeah, I use this microphone for the edge of the speaker. And the other one, which is a Sennheiser 609, I use it in the center. This one, it's in the center, yeah? Why it's happened this? Because my box have a response like this. It's too harsh in the middle. And if I come with the SM57 in the middle, it comes more harshness. It's too much how can I say, it's too aggressive, too much highs and mid highs in the sound. After I make just test it. I didn't do it by how it names theory.
Random?
I done it practically. I change the microphone in position till I get the best sound for me. Yeah, that I like it. That's why these 2 mics looks like this. To you, to everybody that wanna have a formula for this, I need to tell it doesn't exist a real formula. You need to test. You need to make more tests to change the position of the mic till they are respond. But as a rule, for everybody who maybe beginners or the people who had no idea how to do it, there are 2 important basic rules. First of all, if you use 2 microphones, try to put one in the middle, one search the edge for completing the spectrum of the frequencies. And the second rule, and very important, try to put the capsule of the both microphones in the same vertical plane to avoid phase issues. Because if the phase doesn't work correctly, then you're gonna ask yourself why your guitar is thin and have no power and is not full, and yeah, it's a phase, could be a phase issue. That's why try to put the both capsules in the same horizontal plane, vertical plane, sorry. Good. The Bose microphone goes in the interface. In this case, in my home studio, I use the Antelope Discreet 4. I try to show you. It's here. Yeah, it's this one, small one, 4-channel. I don't need more here. So, this Antelope Discreet 4 goes USB connected in the computer. And from here, it's very easy. If it goes USB connected in the computer, from then the DAW, you just need to select in the DAW this interface and you have the connection with the guitar. Yeah, it's the circle closed from the discussion that we started, an answer to Vincent question. Yeah, so 2 microphones, in my case, goes here back, in back of the of the interface. They are here, connected, these 2 microphones, and these 2 channels through the USB are connected with the DAW. And like this, I capture my guitar from this amp. If I need a clean guitar, the system is the same, just I need to change the setup of the amp. It's the other channel, the clean channel, but I use the same setup. I don't need to change. And in this case, I use a 412 box. It's a for vintage Celestion 30, vintage 30, and that's it. Nothing special. But as I've told you in the beginning, you can use, what do you want? You can use also a combo. You can use a transistor, depending on your taste, depending on your task. This is my analogic chain to capture the guitar in the DAW. And I use Cubase, like you can see in my videos, presentation, I don't know, videos with mixing presentation or thing like this. This is my chain. For the other one, I'm gonna tell you later. I wanna let Jochen to share his experience about his chain, and then we can discuss about the guitar emulator or guitar simulators. Yeah. And not just, we can discuss about drum simulator and other method of recording or live rigs. Why not? So, Jochen, which is your favorite chain?
So for recording, I use normally 4 tracks of guitars. So the first one is always a DI signal, because of the possibility of reamping.
Very good that you said about this. I use also, but I didn't mention it because I don't want to make it too complicated. But if you use it also, you can explain how it works, because it's very important for reamping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it can save lots of time and lots of nerves, so to say. So if you record just your DI signal, there are a few points to pay attention to, but it's one of the surest way to have a clean and proper signal. You can build up a good sound if the amp is not making the sound you want to hear on your album or your recording, whatever. So I always record one DI signal. You have to pay attention that it's a very clean signal. So you just have to put a DI box between your guitar cable and your interface. All you have to do is to connect it to your guitar and the output to your DAW or to your interface, and you have to listen to the signal. If there are noises coming from whatever, any device in the studio, any device from the guitar or whatever, you have to move a little bit in the room while recording to listen to the most proper signal. And of course, you have to pay attention of the gain amount on your signal, that it's not too much input in your DI signal. If you got a clean and proper DI signal recorded, then you can use this signal later to add some reamping or even replace your recording with reamping. Most of the time, just in my case, there's not too much time to record and it's not too much money to record. So you have the chance to record your signal at home with a DI box. Just the clean signal, and you can make as many attempts as you want, and it will cost you no time and no money in a studio.
And if somebody, let's say this, if somebody wonder himself in this moment, a lot of people heard about DIs, reamping, thing like this, but they don't know exactly how it works. And it's very easy, my friends. With a DI box, you have an input that comes from your guitars, or guitars, doesn't matter. The input in, and then you have two outputs. One output goes in the in the amp or in the DAW, depending in the interface, depending what are you using, and the other output goes in the interface for a clean sound track, for a clean sound, of your guitar, without distortion, without nothing. It's just the guitar signal. Yeah, Jochen have one.
There is one DI box. It's a passive one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too much if it's a passive or an active one. It shouldn't be the cheapest one, but it's not too expensive if you got a good DI box. This DI box from Chris is, I don't know, about $40.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. This one is American one. I got it used for, let's say 20 or 30 bucks. Got two of them. And as you can see, there's, it's too blurry, but you can see there's an input jack and an output jack. And you go inside your input jack with your guitar and you go out to the DAW. No, to the amp, sorry. And the output on the other side, it's an XLR output. So you got a stereo signal and you can go to your DAW. The one thing you can do if there is some noise, some humming, it's to ground lift switch. You have to choose if it's better with or without the ground lift. Yeah, the same. So I think all the DI boxes are built nearly the same.
And you have also
one input. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, one input from the guitar. You go inside this, and you can go further on the output and go in an amp or whatever you use, and then you got the correct signal out here, and you go to the DAW, switch between ground and lift, what sounds better, and you got a quite clean signal. It's hard to hear when you just play distorted signal. So it sounds very weird at the beginning, but you will hear every single tone you're playing. And it's a good way to control if you're playing it right or if you're cheating. It's very honest, this signal. And when you record that, you can use this signal later on when you recorded it. You can use it later to reamp. So the signal you recorded, the clean signal, goes through an amp and you record it afterwards.
Talking about reamping, let's make a little deviation from the discussion, and then we come back to your chain. Talking about reamping, it's somehow the same, but the same process, but reverse. So the signal goes out from your DAW. This clean DI signal comes out from your DAW, and here you have two methods. One with a reamping box, which is somehow a DI but in reverse, but you also can use a DI as a reamping. For the people
Yeah.
who don't know, the DI could be also used as a reamping box. But yeah, um, it's a matter of marketing. It's also a DI name reamp box. But
Yeah.
this is other discussion. So, and then goes in other amp. Yeah, this signal through a reamping box goes in a new amp and gonna be recorded to have another sound, a new sound, a better sound, or I don't know. Another method is the same with the amp simulator. Out from the door, the signal don't goes out from the door. It's inside the door, this clean channel that you have, and in the inserts of the channel you can put a amp simulator, and with this amp simulator you can change the tone like you want. You can choose any other tone of the guitar that you want. This is the reamping system, but for this you need this very well explained method with DI to record a clean channel that Jochen told you already. So, Jochen, further, your chain.
Okay. So that's channel 1 of my settings. Channel 2 and 3 is like Chris was choosing 2 microphones. I'm using mainly the SM57 together with a 906. It's a similar version of the 609. And the only thing you have to pay attention to is the 2 mics should differ. So one mic is capturing the, let's say, the low mids better, and the other one is more for the highs and for the tonality of your guitar sound. So you can choose between 2 different mics. This one I'm speaking to, it's a MD421. I use quite often to, in addition to the SM57, but it's, like Chris said, a matter of taste. So you have to know what sound you want to record, what are the main specifics about your sound, your guitar sound, how your cap is sounding, how your guitar is sounding, and then you just have to try out over and over, to move the mic, to move the other mic, and when you record the 2 with the let's say that the main sound of the mics, when you have it recorded in your DAW, then you can blend them. If you need more low mids, you can add more of the other microphone, and the other way around. So it's another insurance for your sound. Even if you record 10 mic signals, then you just have to use one of them. But you have recorded 10 mics to choose. So you're sure you have at least one signal that fits your sound. So to get it not too complicated, I stay with 2 microphones. I think that's enough. And then I use a 4th signal, a 4th track of recording, and that is with another DI signal, but with a DI signal that goes after the power amp of your amplifier. And that's a box, it's called JDX from Radial. And it's the same method like the DI signal from the first track, but it gets the signal that comes out of your amp and goes not in your cap, not into the speakers, but first in this little box, and then you can record this signal. It's like a cap simulation, so to say, and that's another insurance for your sound. Then you can be sure that's sounding like the sound you get from your cab. It's a very good sound, and if the mic is not in the right position or whatever, and there are maybe noises in the microphone signal, then you can just use this signal as an insurance, as another insurance. So you see, I'm not too sure if I record the right signal. So I have a lot of backups there in my recording chain. So I got 4 signals to record, and the signal goes the same way as Chris told you. First, it goes through a booster, mainly the overdrive pedal to boost the signal. Then it goes to the amp. I don't use a noise gate because I make the noise is part of our music, so we leave it like this. And then it goes to mainly the JDX if you want to record more silently, or it goes through a cab which is in the other room, and there you can capture the sound with the microphones. So that's it.
Yeah. So, very important. Let's do it like this. Look here. Let me see if we can do it. Just a second, please. People. You see, in this image, it's a double bass here. It doesn't matter if it's a guitar or other instrument. The principle is the same. We have the double bass here that use a microphone. Yeah, you see here a microphone in the picture. And also, should I... No, I cannot put the mouse on the picture for the moment. But doesn't matter. It's a microphone. And down the yellow box. Yeah? This yellow box, it's a DI that comes from the pickup that the double bass have it. Yeah? This double bass have also its own pickup. And this pickup goes through a DI to give in the mixer the both signals, the microphone, which have his own character, yeah, and also the clean signal from the pickup, which goes through DI. And in this case, we had in the mixer 2 channels, clean one, the DI, and in this case also the microphone is a clean one, but it's depending on the microphone, it have its own character. It's not the same like the DI. And then you have 2 signals that you can work with, or if one, let's say the microphone, it's not a satisfying one, you can change the sound of the DI, which is a clean one, and with this one you can play like you want. And talking about recordings, because now we are in the recording area, guitar recording area for the moment, let's say important for the people who want to start doing this kind of things, and they are in the beginning and they wonder what to buy to be easier for them and to be not so complicated, because working with amps, the truth is working with amps, microphones, capturing all this in the computer with DIs, without DIs, involved a little bit experience in all this. It's not a matter of learning today and apply it tomorrow with the best results. You need a little bit experience. Also, better to have also stage experience for all these kind of things. It's a combination of a lot of things to achieve the best results. That's why, in my opinion, after all these years, for somebody who start hobby or a business in this, and for the first time, try to choose interfaces that gives you all these possibilities that are already integrated in. And there are on the market a lot of. Universal Audio have this kind of things. Antelope Audio have this kind of things. I don't know, Motu I think have also,
Yeah.
if I remember.
Focusrite.
Scarlett, the from
Focusrite.
Focusrite.
Right.
But not just Scarlett. I said, how is the other one? I forget the name. Doesn't matter. Focusrite, generally speaking, have some models with. And you're going to find in this kind of interfaces DI for your instrument. So you have already an input dedicated for a guitar or for other kind of instrument like the same impedance like a guitar. And part of them have also reamp outputs. So not just the line output for your boxes or for your audio system, they have also outputs for reamping already built in with a dedicated impedance for this. And this is very easy to work with because you have everything in a box and everything in your software, in your drive software that you receive with your interface. It's there. It's everything there. Just need to click a few buttons and everything it's there. And most of them, there are companies that provide you, like Universal Audio or Antelope, provide you also amp simulator in the software. Yeah. You receive the interface with amp simulator, with compressors, with gates, with equalizers, with a lot of modules that gonna help you in this process of recording an instrument. Pay attention, I don't want to say just guitars. Recording an instrument, generally speaking. This kind of interfaces are perfect for beginners. Not just. I also used this creat for this Antelope that have this kind of things included. Okay, I work also with analogic things because I have the experience with. But if I want to avoid this interface for me, it's the complete studio in a box. And yeah, they are very practical for people who want to start a hobby like this. It's very important to understand this. And then you avoid buying DIs, which you don't know how to use it. Yeah, I buy a DI. What I'm going to do with? Most of us, I'm pretty sure Jochen also, know how to use a DI from the stage, not from the studio. Because we used this kind of things in the past on the stage for keyboards. Why not sometimes for the guitars also? But for you newcomers, there are too much elements in the chain that you need to take care of, like DIs, reamping boxes, I don't know which pedals, to understand the FX loop in a amp, how it works. It's complicated. That's why start with the interface. Start with the interface that have everything inside. And when you understand what the interface is doing with all these connections, then you can go to the next stage involving a normal amp, a stage amp. Yeah. Am I right, Jochen? Do you think the same?
Yeah. It's just the interface is not affecting your sound or your sound quality of your recording. It's just the content of the interface, and then you have to choose how many inputs you need, and that's a matter of the price afterwards. Of course, there are 2-channel interfaces, 4-channel, 8 channels, and so on, and you can combine different interfaces to have more channels, but that's only for, let's say, recording drums or anything. If you just want to record your voice or a guitar with 2 inputs, that's quite enough. You don't have to waste your money first for the interface. You can use a quite decent one with 2 inputs, maybe with a DI input and maybe even with a reamping output. So you got all together in a box and you don't have to waste your money on this. So it won't affect your sound quality afterwards in the recording. Because all the interfaces now are so good, in a so good quality, you don't have to spend lots of money to get a better sound. Then you have to change your way to record. Maybe.
Look, we can discuss directly. We are not paid. It's not a paid session. Yeah, we are not
No.
sponsored by I don't know which.
No.
That's why I can use. And we have here Toman. Look.
Yeah.
Example. Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Focusrite. It's very clear what it's about. As you see, let's put it in front. We have 2 inputs, microphone or instrument. Yeah, very easy. And
Combination.
then on
Well-
back, this is the easiest one, the simple one. And in back, the left-right for audio system. Yeah, for control. This is the easiest way of recording an instrument, because you have there the selector to change between instrument and microphone depending what you put in this inputs, and communicating USB with your DAW, yeah, in your computer. And that's it. You don't need a DI, you need nothing else. This is the cheapest, one of the cheapest and simple method of recording, yeah?
Yeah.
And if we go in, let's choose another one, I don't know. Let's say Antelope, because I know better. From Antelope. From Antelope, let's see this one. Then, so we have in back. This is in back. All right. So the same thing. A microphone, 1 and 2. Also, you have a HZ input line, also line or HD. Yeah, that means you can put instruments in, and then monitoring out. Yeah, this is the one of the cheapest from Antelope. If we go to an expensive one, a little bit more expensive one, not too expensive, let's say the discrete. Yeah, look what's happened here. You have in front 2 inputs for instrument and or microphone. Yeah, instruments or microphone. Then in back, as you see, let me make a little bit bigger for you. Just a second.
Yeah, it's not just analog outputs, but also SPDIF and ADAT.
Yes, line outs, monitor, everything that you want.
And
here.
word clock synchronization.
Yes, for sure. But what is interesting to this interface, it start already coming with, as you see here, this kind of things. Yeah?
Yeah.
That makes the interface more powerful. These are software that you receive with the interface. With this interface, you have an entire studio. And this is unbelievable powerful for somebody who start producing music or mixing, or very important. And also you can go further. Let's say this one. I give you just a few examples. Yeah, I don't talk about prices now in this moment. We discuss just about what's happened. These have more inputs, yeah, to 8 inputs, also microphone or instruments. But look here, what's happening in back. You have monitor out and reamping, reamp, 2 outs. So it have DIs, cause have inputs for the instruments, yeah, microphone, but also instruments input. That means DIs, and also the reverse of the DI that transform the signal from line to the impedance to be put it in an amp, yeah, to reamp, to make that clean DI sound, to give to this sound another character, another amp, another distortion, another, I don't know. Yeah, these are the interfaces that in these days contain everything that you can imagine, and they are unbelievable good for somebody who want to maintain everything simple, small, easy to work. And trust me, the quality in these days between the analogic instruments and this kind of things, okay, it is a difference, but this difference for the big public is undetectable.
Yeah. And you can save a lot of money. It works together. Yeah, it's all from the same producer, let's say that.
Yeah.
And you can save a lot of money because a good reamping box, it's about 100 and 150. So you got 2 reamp outs, so you can record 2 different signals at once. So you save, or you got a reamping solution for, let's say, 300 euros. Also in this box with all the plugins that are not just cheap ones, but high quality plugins. So it's the whole package. So it's up to you what you want to do with it.
It's like this.
Yeah. It's just more comfortable. But if you don't need 8 tracks to record at once, you just need a 2-track or 4-track interface.
This talking about the guitars, talking just about the guitars and talking just about recordings. Because if we discuss about stage, oh my God, there are so many systems that you can use like you cannot imagine. But generally speaking, for the stage, the chain is somehow the same till the interface. Because you have the amp, you have your pedals using as you wish, with booster, without booster, like I showed you, with your pedal board, if you have a pedal board. Then comes microphones, could be also DIs, depending on the system or the sound engineer, how it works. But most of the time there are microphones attached to your box, and these microphones goes in the mixer, in live situations, yeah, in live sessions. Instead of interface comes the mixer, and from there, yeah, the whole system with amplifiers and boxes and things like this. What kind of amp, how many amps do you want to use in live situation? Here it's also a discussion, because there are a lot of people that in the past use walls of amps, but it was somehow understandable because of 2 things. It was modern, first of all, and second of all, it was the problem with the amplifier system, with the PAs. Wasn't so powerful. They need power in the guitars. That's why they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 N amps. Yeah. But during the time the systems has evolved, power PA systems has evolved also, and you don't need so much power on the stage. Okay, big stages you need to hear your guitar, but also you don't need so many amps in these days. The truth is, yeah. I think 412 box with a real amp, I don't know, look like this beautiful thing that Jochen have there, that angle, yeah. This is a signature angle. Which kind of?
Yeah, it's the E650, the Ritchie Blackmore signature.
Ritchie Blackmore signature, yeah, angle. Or Mesa Boogie, double or triple rectifier for more power. I don't know, there are so many. Randall, a very good transistor amp.
Yeah.
Also tube amp, but transistor amp very good. Orange, another kind of. There are big power amplifiers that in these days, one, it's enough on the stage to hear yourself, but also you have the guitar in the monitor. So to be true, you don't need so much power like in the past. What is interesting here, and in my opinion, what need to be discussed about is what's happened in a modern mixing, live mixing, when you are just one guitarist.
Yeah.
Cause the image, the sound image, will be how can I say empty. Think about a band in three instruments, and I saw a lot of good bands in three instruments. Yeah, drum, bass, guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, we are used in mixing. Doesn't matter if we discuss about um, recording or live. We are used to have the guitar somewhere. Yeah, most of the time it's left or right, a little bit out of the center. Yeah, in the recording, mixing, recording, it's easier to make bigger image for the guitar because you have a lot of plugins, things that you can use. Or I don't know if you use analogic gears, it's the same. There are a lot of things that you can use to be to make the guitar wider or somehow everywhere. The method that comes in my mind in this moment, the most used or maybe the easiest, it's with a reverb. Yeah, you have the guitar, let's say left, yeah, out of the center, and a reverb, a completely wet reverb, put it somehow on the same position panorama but on the other side, and create somehow a wider image for the guitar. You can use this method live. Also, you can use this method in mixing condition in studio. But for live, I I use it also, and I recommend it for most of the people. I know it's a matter of money, but if you can use two amps, if you can do this, use two amplifiers. If you can do it, use two different amplifiers. Use a, let's say, a PV for metal. Yeah, let's say use a PV and a Randall. Yeah, with two different, completely different sounds. And then just use panorama, left, right. Talk with your mixing guy to panorama, left, right, completely, 100% the both. And then you're gonna have real metal here, yeah, guitar that sound left, right. And you feel the stage in this case. You have the bass, the drum in the middle, overheads everywhere, hi-hat, I don't know, somewhere, vocalist with his delays and reverbs everywhere, and the guitars left, right. And then you have a real metal guitar, for example. But not just, you can use this in many other genre. You don't need to use just in metal. I talk about metal because me and also Jochen here, we are fun metal music. In metal, two amps, and you don't need four microphones, two and two. If you want to use two microphones per box, no problem. But if you use just one per amp, it's enough. So two microphones, left, right, and you're gonna have an unbelievable stereo sound, let's say, in live. If the PA it's a stereo one, but most of the PAs in these days are stereo. Yeah, it's not like in the past. So I used this. I don't recommend things that I never touch them or I never experienced them. That's why I told you, because I use this kind of system and it's unbelievable. And maybe you wonder what's happened to the solos. It's happening nothing. To the solo you have two options. To make the solo with the same sounds like you have on the amps. There are people that use the same sound for the solo. Or in case you change the solo sound, it's very easy. In that moment, when you change for just one amp the sound, change for, I don't know, let's say for, we discussed about the PV and the Randall. Let's say we change the sound just on the PV, and in this moment, the sound engineer need to put your amp in the middle for the solo, and for sure you're gonna have a delay or something for the solo, yeah? Put in the middle and cut the Randall. and then goes back, roundel up, left, right, panorama, and you have a guitar like you never imagined. Maintaining the guitar just in one place, if you are not two guitarists on the stage, make a thinner image and also everything in center. And yeah, it's not quite a modern sound. This is the discussion that I want to make about the live situation. And for sure, there are a lot of other systems. Check videos with rigg of, I don't know, Metallica, or you're gonna be scared and amazed what you're gonna see there. Mountains of amps, preamps, FX, digital FX units, and yeah. But finally, all of these mountains of gears are reduced to what we discussed about: an amp, microphone, guitar, and mixer. That's it. What are you using in live situation, Jochen?
I'm using my beloved Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier,
Oh my
and
God.
my
My beloved also.
as
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
as well beloved Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier cabin.
Mm-hmm.
But I normally we use two cabs. We are two guitarists, and we use two cabs. One is for the guitarist, and one is for the drummer, because we are used to have no monitor sound. So we need the full power from the cabs. So the drummer has the same sound as we have on our backs, and then it's quite, let's say, loud enough to play on a stage like we are used to do, that is not too big. But most of the guitarists don't want a monitor sound of their amps because it sounds different. Imagine you have your amp with your cab, then in front there's one or maybe two microphones that goes to the mixer and back through the PA system. And this will change your original sound. So the sound that comes through the monitor system will not be the same as through your guitar cab. So most of the guitarists, they stack like 2 or 4x12 cabs to have their sound all over the stage and not be too, let's say, too dependent on the monitor sound. So if they move across the stage, they have their guitar sound like they are used to, or maybe their in-ear monitor sound. So it's, most of the time, so our band does so. We have no monitor sound on stage, so we have to crank up the amps and hope that the cabs will do the work, let's say.
Okay, with the risk to start a debate about this, hearing about your system, I have, from my perspective of a sound engineer, I have two things to mention. Mm-hmm. First of all, to high-level mixing, live mixing, the monitoring of a guitar need to come to help the guitarist, like you said, to maintain the tone. It's very important to maintain your tone. And you can do this putting the guitar in the monitor in front when you pay attention with the spectrum of the guitar in the monitor. Because if you let the complete full spectrum of the guitar in the monitor, you can have a different sound because of the speaker of the monitor. Yeah. But if you reduce, if you reduce the spectrum of the frequencies through the or to the high mids and highs, and you let just this little, not air but mids and air, in the monitor, in that moment you have just the how can I say, the image of the guitar from the front or everywhere on the stage without affecting the body of the guitar that you need. So you have the body from your amp,
Mm-hmm.
the original tone, the sound where it's in the middle and low mids, yeah, of
Boom,
your guitar, and you
pressure,
feel
yeah.
it, yeah, it's your
Yeah.
tone, but that highs and mids highs gives you the sensation that guitars comes also from the front, enough to hear your note. It's not for the tone, it's for the note.
No. Yeah.
Then
Just
you
to
are
hear
free to
yourself.
move everywhere on the stage,
Yeah.
and you hear
To hear
your
your playing.
notes. Yeah, this is the first point, and the second point, from my perspective as a sound engineer, the boxes, the second box for a guitar amp, um, going to the or how it names orientated to the drummer. For me as a sound engineer, could be a problem because the sound from the guitar get in the overhead and maybe
Yeah.
in the hi-hat microphone, or maybe in all the microphones, depending the sensitivities and the microphone that I use. So
We just got a bass drum mic.
yeah,
That's
right.
that's the point. Yeah.
But if you put
But I understand
everything,
if
if you
you're.
put everything in the system, all the
Yeah.
microphones in the system, then
Yeah.
this box can generate a huge problem, because give me the guitar sound
Yeah.
in the microphones, in the
The
other
other
microphones.
microphones.
Yeah, that's why I avoid to do this. I prefer to have the, and I repeat, this is my perspective. I prefer to let the guitars as far as I can, to avoid getting in the microphones from the drum,
Yeah.
and to give the guitarist this monitoring, this kind of monitoring that give him the sensation that have the original sound, but everywhere on the stage. And here is the secret. It's a little tip that you need to learn how to tweak the equalizer of the guitar in the monitor. If you understand this and if you have this trick, then it's no problem to have the guitar everywhere. For the small gigs, yeah, could be. Like you said, Jochen, this
We
kind
just
of
play.
method work.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
We just play small gigs, so it's most of the time we can do it like this.
Yes, yes,
But you're
okay.
totally right. If there is a monitor system and you got more than just one microphone for the drums, it's very hard to get the guitars out of the
Yes,
drum mics.
yes, it's like
For
this.
sure. Yeah.
For small gigs, now I've realized, yeah, you are. That's why I turned the discussion to small gigs, because you are right. I'm talking about the big stages. On the big
Yeah,
stages,
yeah,
it's not recommended to do
We
this.
don't know big stages, so
Yeah, so for the gigs, small gigs, it's okay. It works, and I used also on the small gigs this kind of things, because on the small gigs doesn't matter where the amp is. So
Yeah.
it's anyway, it's close to the drum, and it's there. Yeah. Okay.
everywhere.
But for a standard stage, let's say a normal stage, yeah,
Yeah.
it's better to avoid this kind of things, to let the full control to the sound engineer, because then,
Yeah.
the guitars goes in the drums microphone and could create some
We
problems.
don't even have a sound engineer, so
Yeah. Okay, I understand. It's a, but you know what? In this case, it's a special case,
yeah.
and we are talking here about standard cases. To you, it's a
Okay.
special case.
Yeah. I think the standard case is our case, and the special case is to have a big stage and a sound
Yeah, for you
engineer
it's different,
and
but
a
there are
full PA
no
system.
now thinking there are maybe more bands like in
Yeah.
your situation.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, thinking now it's like this. There are more bands like you
Yeah.
that need for small gigs
Yeah.
a system that, yeah. And here I can bring you in another discussion that create debates. Why you don't use a camper?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's digital and it sucks and it's
You see, it's another debate. A lot of people said camper it's okay for this kind of situation. A lot of people said
totally
camper
okay.
it's a shit.
No, I don't say this. But I'm used to the real
Yeah,
the real
yeah.
thing. That's it. Like you said in the beginning, I was growing up with real
For sure.
amps. I didn't know any simulations and digital stuff. So it's just a matter of taste. It's what you like, what you're used to.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
And because we talk about simulation, we have also the possibility to use simulation in the studio for drums.
Yeah.
There are a lot of softwares for this. It's DBF, the SD3, the Superior Drummer 3,
Yeah.
Steven Slate drum. I don't know. There are so many.
Drummer
And
God.
there are results for people who have no money to pay a drummer or to play
Yeah.
with a drummer. Or there are real solutions.
Even
If
in Cubase, there are
not
lots of
in Cubase,
excellent drum sounds.
yes. If you have a little bit imagination, you know how to process this kind of drums.
Yeah.
You can obtain very good sounds, very close to the reality.
Yeah.
And this is another recommendation that I make for the beginners to use these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's even if it looks expensive, yeah. A Superior Drummer, for example, software cost. Let's see how much. Just a second. Let's make it clear for everybody. Come on. Let's search. SD3. As I know. Oh no, sorry. Superior. Look here. There are still to the third version. Look, 400, yeah? 369 in Thomann, Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, I understand. It's expensive. But think about to buy a drum, a good one for the recording, a minimum quality for recording, cost already 300, plus a set of microphones that are somehow good for recording that cost minimum another 300, so 600. Maybe you don't know to play the drum, and then it's a problem.
That's the
Then
main
you need
problem.
to, if you have a friend, it's perfect. If you don't have a friend, you need to pay another maybe 50 euros per hour,
Yeah.
and so on.
You want to have a room
Room.
for building up.
You are already too far away with the
Yeah.
discussion. Talking about the room, it's it's too far
I'm
away.
standing there with my new drum set and don't know where to build it up.
Yeah, you see, so for somebody who is in the beginning or who don't want to have problems, it's very easy to start with a software like this. It's much cheaper, even if it looks expensive, yeah, to 369 euros. And guess what? In this kind of softwares, you have, especially in Superior Drummer, you have grooves selected on the styles, depending on the style. Samba, bossa, metal, rock, everything that you can imagine. Pay attention. Grooves played by drummers that are not automatic
drummers,
things generated by a computer. There are drummers playing and transposing MIDI. And they play with groove, they play with dynamics, different dynamics on the hi-hat, ghost notes on the snares. It's unbelievable. You can use these kind of things. You have it directly in your database. Rhythm, just combining rhythms and the drum track, it's finished.
Yeah, and it sounds natural.
And sound natural. Very, very, very good solution for the people who cannot afford a drum or a big studio, because there are problems with room. You said, room. It's a very big problem for the drum. A good
drums
kit
are very expensive
and very expensive.
Yeah,
A good drum
just
kit.
have to pay under €1 for a pick, and on the drum side you have to pay €10 for a pair of sticks.
A good kit drum could be buried by a shit room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can spend a lot of
I
money
know
for a
best.
drum, and then if you don't have the proper room,
Yeah.
the money are spent for nothing.
I know best. I got this shitty room. Not so shitty, but you know my room.
Just-
Yeah.
you
But
can do
it's
something in your room. It's not.
yeah.
It's
But you can get a let's say okay sound of it.
no. You know what?
But it's
In my opinion, your room it's like this. Your room can obtain just a limited um, type of sounds,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
not bad,
Hmm.
but a limited type of
Yeah.
sounds. It doesn't permit you to obtain more
Yeah.
types of
Not a
sound.
roomy sound. Yeah.
Yes, it's normal, but
Yeah.
for what you need for this kind of tight drums, for
Mm.
it's quite okay. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of little setups there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody want a bigger room. It should
Yeah.
we
That's it.
give
Yeah.
examples? This was a big room, and you know it
Yeah.
in the X studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know this room.
Yeah.
But a room like this,
Well,
look, Reggie, 60 quadrat meters.
yeah.
Uh, maybe I have another perspective of this room. Just a second.
Like a sports hall. Yeah.
Um,
With high ceiling and so on.
yes, I want. Oh, this was a nice one.
Mm.
You remember, yeah?
Yeah.
But now this studio is closed, people.
Yeah.
Look,
So sad.
room. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was the room of my studio.
Yeah.
130 meter quadrat. Quadrat meter. Yeah.
Great
Uh,
sounding.
yeah, great sounding because of the bigness and also because of the wood.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask,
I got wood too
yeah,
on the walls. Just on the walls.
look, here it's the best perspective of
Yeah.
this room.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me why wood on the walls.
Hmm.
Because it's a, how is it, false concept that a room for recording need to be completely absorbed. So
Yeah.
to absorb the sound complete with foam or other things on the wall. Good
That's
record, yeah, a good recording room need to have life to resonate, but not too much. And here is the problem:
hmm
to obtain this nice resonant, but without uh, too much time reverb,
hmm
and also to be warm, not fizzy or
sterile.
highs.
Yeah.
And this you can obtain with wood. The wood, it's the best resonant material for a big room, big recording room.
Hmm.
Especially the drum react unbelievable good with. Oh, and not just I test also in this studio. I test a lot. How it names
Yeah.
brass instruments. Oh my
Mm.
God, they was unbelievable how they sound in this wood big room.
Yeah.
And there, if you need tighter sounds, you can use panels. So a big room offer you roomy sound if you need. There are
Yeah.
styles of music that need roomy sound,
The
or
natural
room, yeah,
reverb.
yes, or tight with. You can use
Yeah.
panels to
Yeah.
make smaller the space where the drum is recorded, and then you have it tighter.
Hmm.
To Jochen, that's why Jochen said he had not a good room, but no, it's in my opinion this saying is not the correct one. You have a
Yeah.
good room, but for limited styles of music.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, this is the truth.
Yeah.
And it is in internet on YouTube. It is a video that show you the same segments, drum segments
Hmm.
played in different rooms, bigger, smaller, and how it sound. If
Yeah.
you search on the internet, you can find it. It's very interesting for somebody who don't know and
Yeah.
wonder what it's about.
Yeah.
And turning back to the software, this software
Hmm.
provide you the possibility
Yeah.
to have roomy sound or not, because
Yeah.
it gives you more microphones that surround the kit, the drum kit. And you can choose which microphone to use, and depending on
Yeah.
the microphone that you use, microphone that you use, you can obtain a tighter or a roomy sound for the kit.
Yeah.
That's why the software in these days are unbelievable.
Yeah. And you have microphones that costs about 2 or 3 thousand euros
Yeah.
to choose in the software.
Yes.
And you got no room issues, and you got a natural sounding drum set.
And not just, very important, and now I remember and I need to talk about this, for the people who have the possibility to record a drum, a normal one, but they cannot obtain the sound that they want.
Yep.
And for sure, there are a lot of elements that make a drum to sound. Room, microphones, position of the microphones, very important. Type of the drum, faces of the drum. There are so many elements. That's why I said, for recording you need a little bit experience. Also, life experience is better that to have for recordings. But an important, very, very important element that I saw a lot of people, a lot of sound engineer with studio, with drums, with new faces on the drum, with a skilled drummer that cannot obtain a good sound. And this happened because of the tuning. And this
Oh,
is a
yeah. Drum
very
tunings.
important
Yeah.
element of recording drums. Tuning
And
of
it's not
the...
rocket science. There are devices to help you tune the drum correctly.
Yes, yes, and very important. It's the same like you play a song with your guitar untuned.
Yeah.
If you have your
Tuning
guitar
is,
untuned, it doesn't sound. It's the same with the
yeah.
drum.
Most of the time the problem is in front of the instrument and nothing
Absolutely,
else.
absolutely. And
It's the most important thing.
I saw drums that cost not so much,
Yeah.
very well tuned and sounding in the studio like you cannot imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
And that's why pay attention, people. This
First point,
tuning,
pay attention.
yeah, tuning.
Yeah.
There are a lot of artists that prefer, they don't know nothing about, comes in the studio, ask for a good recording, then the sound engineer said, yes, but we need to lose, I don't know, 2-3 hours sometimes to tune the drum, hours that need to be paid.
Yeah.
And the artist is nervous and don't want to pay and don't understand why he need to pay these hours for tuning, because he was playing till this moment without a tuning on the drum in live situation, which is completely other thing. Yeah, and they don't understand, and makes a very hard life for a sound engineer.
Yeah.
And sometimes the sound engineer, to pass this part of the discussion, and said, okay, let it, you don't need to pay, and he preferred to do this on his own time, just to have a good sound, because for sure later the client gonna reproach to the sound engineer the bad
always the
sound
same.
of the drum.
Yeah. It's never the drummer, it's always the sound engineer.
Yes, and there are many situations like this in the studio when the band don't want to do like what the sound engineer said, and then later they reproach this kind of things to the sound engineer. It's unbelievable. I had, for example, in the studio, guitarists that comes with their own tone, and there was guitarists that played all their life just on the stage, never in a studio. And they don't want to understand that the tone that you make on your stage, it's completely different than the tone that you hear in the studio. It's completely different. So if you want to have your tone, that tone that you want, let the fucking sound engineer to make your tone if you don't know how. But most of the time, the people comes and said, I have my own tone. They are, I don't know, they consider they are Santana or somebody who have real trademark tone.
Yeah.
and they don't want to listen, and they don't want to let you change their button on the amp, and they don't
Yeah.
want to let you do nothing.
Yeah.
And you, as a sound engineer, during the session, advise them every time, please pay attention. Now it's
Praying.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a weak tone.
God's sake.
It's a not like this. You don't have enough harmonics. It's and they don't want. And finally, you cannot mix. Finally, it's a big shit.
Yeah.
And whose fault is? For sure, the sound engineer's fault.
Sound engineers. Yeah. Know this.
Yes, for
They
sure.
don't want to pay any money. They're looking for the cheapest studio,
Yes,
and they give you a CD. That's the sound we want to sound like, and it's a production that costs let's say $500,000, and they come with the shittiest equipment and with the shittiest guitar, and they are playing wrong. They don't have new strings. They are not in tune, and everything you say, you speak against the wall.
yes.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
this.
it. Yeah, and then it's the sound engineer whose fault is when the sound is too shitty. And that's another big discussion. Where do you get your own sound from? Do you have a favorite band and you want to sound the same, and you buy equipment like your idols, and then you're in a studio and you don't play like your idols, but you still want to sound the same? So you got no individual sound imagination at all, and you wonder why you don't sound like your idol. That's it. So I'm not, let's say, I'm not a Richie Blackmore guitarist, not at all, but I like the sound of this amp so much the first time I played it. So it's not the Richie Blackmore thing, it's just the amp. If it would be from Florian Silbereisen, I would like it too. That's the thing.
I have a very nice story about this, and maybe it's time to stop this session. We're gonna continue in another Sunday,
Yeah.
maybe next Sunday. We're gonna announce you. But before this, apropos of this subject, I have a very nice story with a metal band in 2008, I think. Um, the guitarist, it was the guy that knows everything.
Yeah.
He was never in a studio. He never mixed something. He was never working with a DAW.
Yeah.
He never touched a mixer. He have just a very expensive BC Rich guitar for that moment that
That
cost
one.
around
Yeah.
4,000
That guy,
or
yeah.
5,000, I think.
Yeah.
And an amp and some pedals. So, but he knows everything and comes in the studio with his band and try to explain to me during the time not what he want, what I need to do. But this is okay. This is other part of the story. What is funny in all this is the guy want a sound, the snare sound from In Flames.
Okay.
So I try to reproduce this sound from In Flames like you cannot imagine, but for sure I cannot reproduce it because it was a matter of completely other instruments, completely other gears, completely other hand. Yeah?
Yeah. Completely other drummer.
Yes. But
Different drummer.
after 1 week of discussion with him and debates and problems, I start searching on the internet, making research on the internet. How can I obtain this sound of... And to make it short, the story, through somebody from Canada, a guy who have a studio in Canada, that I don't know him, but I met him on the internet making this research. This guy from Canada put me in contact, give me the email from the sound assistant in the studio where In Flames made most of their, in Sweden, make most of their recordings. So I wrote an email to this guy and I receive an answer after very short, one day maximum. And then I was talking with the guy on Skype, and I explained to him the situation. He knows this because this studio wasn't a rich one from the beginning. They was also small, like I was also in the past. So he understands the situation perfectly, and he gave me a sample snare from In Flames, even if somehow he's not allowed to do it. But I'm pretty sure he didn't gave me the real In Flames snare. He gave me something from their session, because they have more sounds. They work with triggers also. They use the natural one mixed with the triggers, and there are layers over layers. But he gave me one of these layers, and it was somehow close to In Flames snare. But now I need to tell you, the guys played black metal. So, you know the difference
Like In
between
Flames.
black metal and what In Flames are playing. So it was completely other type of orchestration, completely other type of beating the drum, completely other type of combining the bass with the drum, which is the most important in this kind of styles. Another style of combining guitars with the drums. So the guitar doesn't slam in the same time with the snare, with the bass, to obtain this kind of chug sound.
Yeah.
It's completely other thing. It's black metal. And finally, I've put this snare in the mix. The guys comes for the next session, and I said, okay, listen, what I obtained with this snare from you. You have from me? Yes, I have from In Flames. I showed him the discussion on Skype because he don't want to believe. Oh no, you do. Look the discussion with the guy and all this. I need to explain. You know, these kind of guys that need to have explanation even if they don't understand what we are talking about. Yeah. So finally he believed me. I pressed play, and he was very disappointed because the snare doesn't fit in this kind of style. It was completely from other story. And guess what? It was my fault.
Yes.
I
of
was
course.
not able to mix that fucking snare.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's the point. Like the bass player playing through the settings of Lemmy Kilmister. Sounds like shit because you don't have the shaking hands
Yes.
of Mr. Kilmister. Yeah, that's it.
And the same discussion, but on the other way, somehow the same discussion I had with the guy. Now we talk about the live situation, that wanna have a concert, hire me to make the sound for him. It was a band. They wanna rent a system, a PA, and they asked me what kind of PA to be rented, and I've told them which kind of, it was a huge hall, but the problem with this hall, it was the steel walls. There was steel walls, and because of this, the resonance, it was very weird. Around 300 to 400 person inside, banks and tables, drinking beer, talking loud. And for sure you need some minimum 18-inch basses.
Oof.
Woofer, to move the air, to feel something. Also in the last row of the people. Oh my God. 2-3 hours of discussion with this guy to explain him why need 18-inch
subwoofers.
Why not smaller? He wanna rent this kind of bars, this kind of Boss L1 bars with small basses, 10-inch basses, and
for singer-songwriter.
Yes, for singer-songwriter. And the difference in the price, it wasn't too much, to say, okay, the guy don't want to do this because of the price. No, it wasn't the price. And then I tried to understand, and I asked him, please tell me why. and the explanation it makes me astonished. They don't have roadies, so they need to carry all this, and the 18-inch is a little bit too heavy for him,
Heavy.
and he
That's
don't want to
weak.
carry this heavy bases.
Yeah.
Really? But you
Have
cannot imagine,
wheels.
after 2 hours, I was with a paper in my hand and a pen, explaining him and making him diagrams and drawing him how a sinusoid sound works and how it's dispersing in space and time. And then I've realized after 2 hours I am the idiot, because I stayed so much to explain to another idiot how it works, the sound.
A waste of time
Waste of
just for
time.
discussion.
But I've done this because they were somehow my friends, and
Yeah.
I want to make them feeling good and understand why I ask for this, not because, most of the time the people, the instrumentists have the sensation that the sound engineer asks for this kind of things because to show high nose and to make easier. No, it's normal. Listen your sound engineer. Please, guys, please listen the sound engineer, because it's there for you. It's not against you. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Jochen, do you have something else to say? If not, let's close it, because we have a huge amount of viewers. 3.
Yeah.
2 of them we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, but doesn't matter. This video remains on the internet, and maybe during the time people can extract from here important information. And if you have questions, look in this video and let us question for later.
Leave a comment.
Yes, in comments you can let us question for the future, to have subject that we can discuss with you, because it's a pity to have so much knowledge and to keep it for us. We are here for you, so let questions for us. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so from Solnet we can say just goodbye till the next time.
Stay
I'm gonna
healthy.
discuss with Jochen.
safe.
Maybe we're gonna make this every week. Let's see.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Ciao, guys.
Okay. See you.
See you.